The following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man in my thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me, big up the girls inside the party, let's get down to crazy Jimmy, big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your wanna be, Jimmy Star's new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Star's.
Hey ho, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We got a great show for you guys today. I'm super excited. I think our guests are going to be fabulous. But before we get to any of that, let's say hello to my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell, who's looking gorgeous.
Right. Hey everybody, how are you? I'm a little bummed, and I'm going to start off really quick. I was called a racist. Me, of all people, a racist. By an Asian woman because I simply asked her, are you Japanese or Chinese? And she called me a racist. Are we going crazy today or what? People ask me if I'm Jewish, Italian, Greek, French, and I tell them, gay. I mean, I've had people say to me, well, you're gay, aren't you? So what is wrong with today? I think it's these woke people, they're crazy people. They're trying to change everything. It's not a racist thing to ask a person about the ethnicity. I was interested because I have a friend of mine who's Chinese, and I thought maybe what conversation could come about from it. So I'm a little bummed out about that. And I think this woman was very rude and terrible to accuse me of being a racist. She was the racist because she was against me or whatever. Not against, maybe she was a homophobe, I don't know. But anyway, I find it very offensive that she was offended. Because I mean nothing by it. That's not I didn't say that Japanese or Chinese were bad people. That's offensive. I simply said, oh, are you Japanese or Chinese? Because she's Asian. What's the big deal? All she had to tell me was what she was and not call me a racist and make a big point about it to upset me. But I'm not going to let her upset me because we have a lovely show today.
Yes, we do.
Nice people on, and I'm going to be back to my normal self in a few minutes.
Cindy says people are just nuts. So we got Cindy Ladylike in the chat room. Dawn is in the chat room. What watch do you have on today?
Oh, I have on my health watch, black, because I'm wearing a shirt with a lot of black in it.
With parrots.
Parrots.
The parrot shirt.
Parrots. Is it parrots?
He's the parrot shirt. I'm polo. Dawn wrote, dude, the hair, which, so I got a haircut the other day, you guys, just because I can't stand it when it's long on the sides. I didn't do anything to it. So.
Remember years ago, the dolls you put in your car, they were called the Nebbish dolls? I don't know if any of you remember Nebbish dolls, but they had hair like Jimmy, nothing, and then a crop on top.
We called them Cupid dolls, I think.
No, Nebbish. They were called Nebbish. And you hung them from the mirror of your car by their long green or pink hair. They were called Nebbish dolls.
That's funny. But yeah, anyway, I got a haircut, and in a way it's I love the haircut, but in the way you can tell I gained 5 pounds because you can tell it. You see it in my face. So
I'm letting my hair grow long again because I cut it short for the movie I'm in. But because of the writer's strike, we may be on strike for 6 months to a year, which means no work for anybody. And I don't understand how people are going to survive because writers have mortgages and writers need to pay their car payments and eat. And
it's not just the writers.
I'm saying to the writers to agree quickly and not be so standoffish. Listen, a strike only hurts the person that's striking. It doesn't hurt anybody else. It hurts the actor, the director, the producer, the crew. So many
makeup artists,
so many people
everybody
are put out of work. You're putting tremendous amounts of people out of work. So I would suggest to all the writers, compromise. Don't be so demanding. I understand what you're saying. The point that
Actually,
One is if you write a movie and the movie goes all over and you don't get any money for it, yes, that they should do. The union should definitely see to it that you are paid residuals for your writing.
they don't get any streaming.
No.
And now the other new thing is, which I didn't understand, is AI, you guys, artificial intelligence. So basically what they're trying to do is let AI write all the scripts for everything and eliminate writers totally and not have writers anymore.
But I don't know how they're
bullshit.
striking for that. So I don't know. But this is a very serious strike. It could go a year. If it goes a year, you could forget Hollywood. Hollywood's finished. It will go into it's in bankruptcy already. I mean, very few production companies are surviving. Everyone's filming now in New Mexico, Georgia.
They can't film either, though.
No, but they can't film. But I'm saying where the film work is strong is in those states.
Atlanta.
Hollywood is losing its grip on being the capital now of film.
Absolutely. Atlanta's taken over.
Yeah, Europe is the capital of film now in so many countries. So Hollywood is really on a downslide. And I think this writer's strike is going to destroy it. I think Hollywood is just going to be... People
They're
are
saying
moving.
that SAG is going to strike and the Directors Guild is going to strike.
Yeah,
both on
it's
June
just
1st.
crazy. And so many people are moving out of Hollywood, out of California. We have such they're all running like crazy. Everybody I talk to, I'm getting out, I'm moving out, I'm going where there's work. So I don't know what's going to happen to LA. It's just going to be a ghost town of who, I don't know who. Anyway, let's get cheerful about it and not be unhappy. So that's what I'm saying.
So
this movie I'm in is never going to happen. COVID came, then our star couldn't make it because he was making another movie. We finally got our star, and now the writers strike. So the movie's called Death House, and I think it's my death because I may drop dead before I'm in it.
It'll happen.
Or it might happen 30 years from now, and I'll be too old to work.
So you guys, we have two great guests today. Our first guest, I spoke with her last night. Her name is Irene Michaels. She's a singer, but actually she's like Ron. She's been in the entertainment industry forever.
Yeah, but she looks like 30. The woman's beautiful. My God.
She's an actress and an author and a singer and a dancer. And
how old is she?
I'm not sure exactly, but it's on her website, but I forgot. But we'll ask her.
I know she's about 10 years younger than I am. But boy, oh boy, does she look sensational.
Then we also have Steve Bacic coming on the show, you guys, actor, producer, director from like all kinds of fabulous things. We had him on last year. He's a very good friend of mine. And so we're really looking forward to having him on. And we're going to do a quick commercial break and just let everybody know you can go to SoundCloud. You can hear us, you guys, on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Prime. We want to wish on air Marcel Waltz a happy birthday. It's not till this weekend, but we're going to a party.
Birthday.
For Marcel Waltz, the director of Blind and Pretty Boy.
We're going to his birthday party?
That's the party we're going to that we have to dress up.
Oh.
It's a birthday party.
You never told me that.
I just found out. I looked at the invitation. It said it's a birthday, so I sent him a message saying, whose birthday is it? He said mine.
I love Marcel so much. He's one of my dearest, closest friends. Marcel Waltz, by the way, is the director of that fabulous movie I keep bragging about, Blind, and now the sequel to Blind, Pretty Boy, and another movie he has out about Hollywood and all the crap that goes on behind the scenes in Hollywood called That's a Wrap. So, folks, those are films I recommend you see. They're not junky films by any means.
Very, very good films.
They're excellent films with good stories and very, very entertaining. And, of course, they have Sarah French in it, and there's nothing wrong with looking at Sarah French for an hour or two. She's so beautiful. She's
fabulous. We love her. So what we're going to do is take a quick music break, you guys. We're going to play Cat o' Nine Tails. So this is a band that basically like was on our show when we lived in Pennsylvania. I don't even know what happened to them. Ron doesn't really like their music, but it's very cool, different kinds of music, and they've kind of disappeared off the planet.
Why are you speaking for me?
Because you told me you didn't like it that much.
Well, did you have to make it public? Now you're going to offend them.
No, they're not around anymore. I can't even find them online anywhere. They've disappeared.
They weren't good.
They've disappeared. No, they're very fun guys, and believe it or not, like some of the shows that they were on were some of our biggest shows.
What, they were comedians?
No, they're singers. hip hop. Like they sing rap, but they're like a white rap guy who was an attorney who quit being an attorney to be a singer. And we met him through some really famous people, and he's very cool. And this is one of their songs.
Found out that show business doesn't pay.
We got like 6.
And being an attorney pays more.
Like 15 years ago or 10 years ago, we got like 6 million plays on the show that we had with him. So he's one of our biggest shows.
But they were famous?
And they just hung out with famous people, but they weren't really famous. Anyway, the name of the band is Cat o' Nine Tails. The song is Tiger in a Tropical Storm. I came across this somehow in a memory on Facebook, and that's what made me get this song. I have always loved these guys. They're a lot of fun. So enjoy it, and we'll be back with Irene Michaels.
Yeah.
Secondhand alibis and ex-wives. Please, God, let me home before the magic dies. Cause I realize there's a man behind the curtain, and I'm certain that he's working 9 to 5 to survive and keep his dreams alive. Be a family 5 with no car to drive when these thoughts collide and all hope is dying. He can't hide. He's so sick of this cheap disguise. It's not what it seems. Kinda like the way you wear glasses, though your eyes are fine. It's a beautiful lie. She was Aphrodite with a bowie knife, covering her initials in the afterlife. And it's my first night if I'm close, so I guess I gotta fight. Like a broken glass on the underpass, like a teardrop in the sea, like a firefly in the Vegas night. You don't seem to notice me. It's supposed to be love, but I'm flying without the F. If I don't say I gave it all till I got nothing left. And I know this lonely road we travel on, 'cause I call it home. Baby, you're a tiger, you're a survivor. And I know this lonely road we travel on, but you're not alone. You're a survivor. Baby, you're a tiger in a tropical storm. Surprise! Now you find yourself on the road, let's travel. Thoughts unravel, my Adam's apple drops like a judge's gavel. Here you are again, that cocktail dress, and I confess it's nothing less than the most intense form of loneliness to be second best, but I digress. We undressed on the mezzanine. A pretty hate machine meets a love supreme, and somewhere in between these hopes and dreams, these hearts they came apart, torn at the seams to be the king and queen of impossible things. And now she's going to win. They call her Scarlett O'Hara. She running like a mascara. I feel like Cliche Guevara. A parachute that never opened. It's the end of an era. She's scared into my labyrinth. The sins turn back, Sarah. This affair has got a price, and I can never understand that she was stuck with Peter Pan while mice and men were making plans. Paradise lost in between these hourglass sands. She couldn't stay in Neverland. She's slipping through my scissor hands. The American dream, it seems to me, it's a pretty white poo sonnet when a husband cheats. The pain of seeing too clearly in the loss of youth is a small price to pay for the absolute truth. Women were built to suffer. That's why they need constant declarations of love. Marriage isn't something we do now and then, except in America. And I know this lonely road we travel on, 'cause I call it home. Baby, you're a tiger, you're a survivor. And I know this lonely road we travel on, but you're not alone. You're a survivor. Baby, you're a tiger. And I know this lonely road we travel on, 'cause I call it home. Baby, you're
Cat o' Nine Tails, you guys. That's a Tiger in a Tropical Storm. Like I said, they were on the show many years ago, and
See, but I don't know why Jimmy spoke for me and said I didn't like the music. I like that music. It's not bad. I like that song.
they were friends with Chad Lindbergh from the Fast and Furious and a bunch of other
shows. Do you ever
shows.
have a partner that makes up your mind for you out there? Do you have a husband or a wife? I know women do that. Like, I've been to dinner with some straight people, husband and wife, and the man sits down and the man starts to say, I'll have a steak. And the wife says, oh, no, he won't. He's going to have potatoes and pork because pork is better for his heart. Steak is not good for his heart. But, honey, I wanted steak. No, you don't want steak. You think you want steak, but you really don't want steak. You want pork chops. Waiter, bring pork chops.
Anyway, we're going to bring on our first guest. So
That's what he
let's
does.
go ahead, Juan. Let's bring her in. Let's make sure we can hear her, and then I'll do an intro.
I order in a restaurant, and he says, are you sure that's what you want? No, I'm in a coma. I'm making believe that's what I want. Look at how beautiful you are. Look at you. Oh, my God, you're so
Wait,
gorgeous.
say something. Let's make
Look
sure we
at
can
her.
hear you.
She's a pretty...
Hello, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. All right, everybody. Now I'll do my formal introduction. All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy
Wow.
Star Show entrepreneur, philanthropist, actress, author, singer, dancer, model, beauty and lifestyle expert, and equestrian. And there's probably a lot of other things that could go with it. Irene Michaels, hello and welcome to the show. Yay.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So let me introduce my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hey, I know your age because it's in your bio. I won't say it. I'll let you do it if you want. But I am on a campaign always against ageism because I'll be 83 next week. And at 83 years old, people say I'm not allowed to do certain things. Like when I go somewhere, Ron, would you like a seat? Or, Ron, don't walk so fast. Or, Ron, don't eat that. It's not good for you. They treat me like I'm about to die at any moment, which I resent tremendously because I'm still the same person now that I was at 21. And I'm sure you feel and agree with me because you're very beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean,
Well,
today on
Good.
1 minute. Today on Facebook, I wrote about Martha Stewart. There was a big thing about pictures of Martha being on the cover of some sexy magazine.
Sports Illustrated.
Sports. And I put pictures of Jane Russell and I up because we were together for a very long time, 9 years. And I said Jane was beautiful in the morning. She woke up looking gorgeous. You know why? She had all her makeup tattooed. Her eyebrows were tattooed, her eyeliner, and her lipstick.
So hang on. So, Irene, we have a chat room. People
Now
are
you
starting
can
to
speak.
fill up. Say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hi, everyone.
There you go. And you guys can follow Irene Michaels on her Instagram. It's Irene Michaels Music and then Irene Michaels. She's got two different Instagrams because she does so many different things. And I want to bring up the first thing I want to bring up before we start talking about your brand new single is the
She
fact.
sings too?
Yes. Is the fact dance music, club music. You'll love it.
Oh, I love it. Of course,
So the
yeah.
first thing I want to bring up, though, is the fact that so I'm a horror movie fan.
That's
and
horror, not horror.
I'm a horror movie fan, and we're friends with Grant Kramer. He's been on the show. I'm friendly with the Chiodo brothers. Ron is friends with Grant Kramer's mom, who's what's her name? The blonde?
Terry Moore.
Terry Moore.
I love Terry.
And you were in Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which is like a cult.
My favorite
it's
movie.
such a cult movie.
That's my favorite one. I thought it was the most outrageous with the balloons, and I love that movie.
So how did you get involved in Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Well, I was approached. I was living in Los Angeles at the time, and I was approached for an audition, and I went on it, and it was fairly easy, actually. So it was just great fun to be in it. It was really fun.
Grant Kramer. Wait a minute, Ron. Grant Kramer.
It was
Started,
a long time ago.
It's
Yeah.
a long time ago, but it still holds up, and it's such a cult film. I'm a huge horror movie fan.
oh, it's a fun film.
So it still holds
It's-
up. We watch it every year in Halloween just for
It
the
is.
fun.
It is a fun.
okay.
What part did you play?
I might have to come dressed in my costume next Halloween and knock on your door as a killer clown.
Oh, you were one of the clowns.
No, she wasn't one of the.
No.
Were you one of the clowns?
I was a social clown. Just easy.
I love it. So besides Killer Clowns from Outer Space, I wrote this down. So you were on General Hospital for 97 episodes. And so I used to like leave college, leave it so I could watch General Hospital in the daytime. And so just for a reference for you, these are the General Hospital people who are friends of ours who've been on the show. Sean Kanan.
Best friend.
Tristan Rogers.
Best friend.
Ian Buchanan. Carolyn Hennessy. John Lindstrom. Charles Shaughnessy. Jacob Young. Stephen Martinez. Adrian Barbeau, Lee McCloskey, Donna Mills, and Judith Chapman have all been on our show, and more than half of them live within a mile of us. We see them all the time.
We see them all the time.
Sure.
I want to tell you, you know who you look like? Jessica Lange.
I've been told that.
Sure you have, because you smile like you look just, and I think she's gorgeous. One of my favorite actresses. I'd love to work with Jessica Lange.
So you do so many fabulous things. I want to promote your website, which is ionthescene.com. Tell us a little bit about what ionthescene.com is. Instead of me telling them, let's say you tell them.
Well, it's a lifestyle magazine. Well, it's not a magazine. It's a website. It's lifestyle, and we cover many, many topics. As you know, I'm an equestrian, so one of the topics is an equestrian in the horse world. And then we also cover a topic, I Am Beauty. And that's about cosmetics and how to look young, and just actual lifestyles, great events, award shows like the Academy Awards or the Golden Globes or the Tonys. And then let's see what else. I'm trying to think. There's so many moving parts to the website.
But it's a very popular blog.
Let's talk about looking young, because this morning on Facebook, my whole page was about that. And I tell women, don't try to look young. Just try to look good, because in doing so, looking good, you will look young. But a lot of women have the conception that they should dress like their teenage daughters with the ripped jeans. They're 80 years old with ripped jeans and varicose veins. Doesn't work. The varicose veins don't go with the holes in the jeans. You're better off wearing slacks so we don't see the varicose veins. But I'm being honest.
No, I agree with you. Less is more when you get older. You need less.
You're not painted like a clown. You don't have all that heavy makeup that some of the. You look so natural. From my viewpoint right now, you look like a natural, beautiful woman. That's natural. Your hair color is soft. It's not theatrical. Your eye makeup is shaded well. Your lipstick is pale. Your rouge is nice. I used to be a hairstylist, so I know what I'm talking about. I was in the beauty world for years, and I made a lot of ugly women beautiful. But you would have been very easy to work with. A couple of curlers here and there, and you were gorgeous.
Great.
But anyway, so let's talk about what.
Well, she wrote a book about it.
I'm going there, Jimmy. Oh, I love him to death, but as I said, he orders for me in a restaurant, and I have to stab him with a fork one day in the hand. But no, so let's talk about your book. Now, I'm a woman, and I'm 70 years old, and I look in the mirror, and I see my mother, and what should I do? What's your book going to tell me to do to be prettier and look better?
Well, it's all for women over 50. It's called I Am Beauty, looking fabulous and beauty over 50. It's not the exact name of the title, but that's what the book is about. And it's a way to maintain your beauty from within, outside, inside, and not to overdo it as you become older. So many women will wear the short skirts or the ripped jeans, like you said.
Terrible.
Very unbecoming. It's simpler line, the better. Not a lot of colors, nothing very busy. It should be very sort of plain, because your body should tell the story, your silhouette. It shouldn't be all the clothes and the makeup that you wear. And of course, regimen and beauty care and skin care and consistency on your products.
How about diet? What you eat. You are what you eat.
It's so true. That is so true. But in my book, there's many, many tips on how to look good, stay young, be fit, a lot of secrets, a lot of celebrity secrets.
Give us a couple. Give us a few.
Okay. Well, let's see. Elizabeth Taylor used to put sesame seed all over her body and sleep in it at night, and then take a shower in the morning.
I knew her, you know. And I don't think she ever mentioned that.
Then Catherine Zeta-Jones washes her hair with beer. And so that keeps the hair shiny. You also can put mayonnaise on your hair. And
Yes.
you don't have to buy expensive
Olive oil.
products. Yes.
Olive oil.
There's plenty of facials and masks that you can make right out of your own refrigerator at your home. Cucumber, egg whites, a little peanut butter, oatmeal. There's many, many tips in my book.
So it's a good book. How much is this book? How much does it go for?
I think it's $26.
Online, is it cheaper?
Amazon.
No, it's sold. It's exclusively sold on Amazon, so they can look it up on Amazon and purchase it.
I've got the you guys.
So ladies,
let me tell the title.
For $26, lady, you're getting a lot of good tips. I think it's a good deal.
So you guys, the book is called Eye on Beauty. I, the letter I, and then O-N, and then Beauty. Living beautifully and luxuriously beyond 50.
There you go. You got it.
I took the notes for it because it looks fascinating. I went on Amazon. It's got a lot of reviews. And not only, so one thing I think is very cool is you've branded yourself Eye on all these different things. You have Eye on the Scene, Eye on Beauty. You have an anti-aging skincare brand called Eye on Youth Collection.
Yes.
So everything is Eye on. So you've branded yourself extremely well because when you Google it, it comes up all over the place. So
and
congrats on that.
Folks, be careful what you put on your face. There's a lot of quacks out there with a lot of garbage. You got to be careful of. Am I right?
Yes.
That will actually dry your face and cause wrinkles. People say to me, Ron, you're 83.
Yes.
I don't look 83 and I know it. And I don't have any wrinkles. It's not the screen. I really don't have wrinkles. You know why? I never wash my face. I splash it with water.
Really?
But I olive oil since I'm 19 years old. I have been olive oiling my skin in the sun. And what happens is the pores opens and the olive oil goes in, and I believe it gives nutrients to the skin. We're finding out now that olive oil is one of the most important things to ingest. It's really a cancer cure.
Yes.
So you endorse olive oil as well.
Yes, a teaspoon a day is very healthy. Some people take a tablespoon, but I think a teaspoon is probably sufficient. But it's very healthy for you.
He loves olive.
Now, you definitely are a product of your book. Because if you were fat and ugly, you couldn't sell that book, could you?
I guess not.
I mean, I'm being realistic and honest. When people look at you, they say, Jesus Christ, if the book makes me look like her, I'll buy 2 copies and read them at the same time. But, I mean, I'm not blowing smoke up your butt, and I'm not complimenting you for any other reason other than the fact that it's obvious. You're a very beautiful woman. And you want to say how old you are? No.
Who do you want me to say hello to?
No. He said you want to.
That's to tell your age.
Sure. I'm going to be 78.
Could you believe it?
Oh, shit. I thought you were only 72. I thought you were only 72.
She's
78 young.
She's almost my age. All right, folks? Look at her. 78 years old. If I didn't know and I met you, I would say 60, 58, 60. I would say that. Maybe not even. I don't know. I'd have to see you in person to really check you out. But on camera, you look 50, 55.
Oh my God! So you're 78. So I want to know then, because
wait a minute. I got to say this. Everybody out there, you know I don't bullshit you. I know the truth. If this woman's book can do for you what it does for her, run, don't walk, go and buy it.
It really is amazing.
You are so
fabulating.
Did you have a lot of work done? Plastic surgery, Botox, fillers?
No, I had Botox. Yes, I've done Botox.
Believe in that, but you didn't Joan Rivers it where you look like a puppet.
Oh no.
You know, I knew Joan Rivers for a long time.
It's so sad when people, there's so many bad cases out there, and they're beautiful to begin with, and then they turn into horrible things, and it's so sad.
Madonna. She's having
Madonna. I don't want to even say the names of how many women I know in the business that have destroyed their faces, and it's very sad.
It's funny. I'm on YouTube and they show videos of that, like the people, not just women and men both.
Let me tell you my Joan Rivers story. I knew Joan Rivers since I met her the first time was at the Upstairs Downstairs in New York, 1960, and I saw her couple of years before she died. And I said to her when I saw her, you know, Joan, I love all your faces. So she said to me, you son of a bitch, and then a few F words after that. I said, no, really? I'm trying to think of which face I like the best, the one I met upstairs, downstairs, or this one. She said, well, which one, Ron? I said, this one, but Joan, less Botox. You're starting to look like the Madam doll. So, you know, the puppet Madam. So Joan had a wonderful sense of humor. She never offended. You could say whatever you wanted to her. She never took offense because she would do the same to others. And then she would say to me, but I still love you. I said, but I still love you too. Well, what's the next face going to look like? And then, of course, she passed, which is a regret because Joan Rivers was one of the nicest people off camera. On camera.
Yes, I've met her.
You met her, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
She was a sweetie. I just thought Joan was a sweetheart. And just too much Botox, too much Restylane. Too much is not good. You have Restylane in your face?
Restylane? Let me think. Maybe Juvederm?
That's a filler. I have nothing in my mug because I have to look. No, I have to look. I'm in a movie soon with a star, very big star, who looks older than me, and I'm playing his father. So I have to look old. Otherwise, I would definitely go and have some stuff shot in my face. I don't like the puppet lines. They annoy the shit out of me. See, look, watch this. I do this all the time. You know what? My plastic surgeon said to me, Ron, get crazy glue and glue your fingers in it. Look, it makes a difference.
So wait, I want to skip off from beauty. I want to go from beauty because you do so many different things. Because now I didn't realize you were 78. So how did you? And I know you're a singer and you've involved with different bands and all kinds of stuff. But how did you become a solo artist, house music, electronic dance music superstar?
Because
like, how did you do that?
She's young at heart.
Yes, but let's hear her tell us.
She's young inside.
Let's hear her.
I used to sing and play the guitar many, many years ago. I bet 40 years ago. Crazy. And then as the years went on, I got into other things. I got into acting and went back to modeling and started writing books and what have you. And then during COVID, when we were all secluded, had to stay in our homes, I picked up my guitar again that I hadn't in a long time, haven't done. And I started kind of writing music again, just toying around with it and starting to sing. And I thought, you know, I've missed this so much that I think I want to go back to performing. And so my husband, who is a major promoter in the business, we had talked and he said, okay. He said, so how do you want to go about this? I said, well, I'd like to maybe appear in some of these little small clubs as a cabaret act. Because my style in cabaret is like a Julie London.
Oh, I love Julie London. Cry Me a River. Cry Me a River. Do you do Cry Me a River?
I'm learning that as we speak.
It's a wonderful song. Now you say you're sorry.
Yes.
You're so unfair. Well, you can cry.
Beautiful voice.
It's a great song. It's easy to belt out.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So I started doing that.
Well, stop.
Yes.
I want to hear you sing. Are we allowed to play your music?
We're going to play her new song.
Sure.
We're going to play your new song. Hallelujah.
Okay,
I'm happy.
I'm trying to build up to that.
Build.
Well, my house music is very different than my cabaret show. It's two different things, as you know. But as I was doing my shows, I met a woman who actually I knew who lived in my same building, for many years. And I didn't realize how involved she was in music, and she owns her own label called Trax Records.
Freeman Rachel. She's been a guest on our show.
Yep.
Oh, okay, Rachel Kane, absolutely. And so she is the queen of house music, and said, Irene, I think you could do some house music. I think it would be great, and I know someone that really needs a couple of songs done, and maybe you would start to sing them. So one of them was, the first one I did was Devil in Disguise, which was an Elvis Presley song.
Good song. Well, Irene, I wanted to say something before we go any further. We have people out there that don't know what house music means. Would you kindly explain to them what house music is?
House music is like the old-time disco. It has a beat. It's a dance beat. And many times it has the same beat, but It's dance music, basically. If you walk into a club and the music's playing loud and it's got this certain vibe to it, it's not listening where you sit back and listen. People want to get up and dance to it.
Yes. They also call it EDM sometimes, you guys, electronic dance music.
Yes.
Okay, keep going because we're going to play the song in a minute.
I can't wait.
Okay. So when Rachel asked me to do this, I did it, and I said, well, I kind of like this. This is sort of fun. And so then I did my first house show maybe only a year ago or so. And the feedback from the audience and the aliveness from being on a big stage with everybody just participating was very exhilarating and exciting to me. And so since I love excitement, I'm kind of an excitement junkie, you could say.
Me too. Me too.
And so I said, oh, this is for me. I said, I want to do more songs. And then I met somebody who was actually working for my husband at the time who was a composer. His name is Michael A. Levine. And he's a brilliant musician, and he's composed at least 27, 28 scores to movies, many TV shows. He did all the music.
I know the name. Levine, I know that name.
Okay, yes. Oh, did we lose connection here?
No, you're there. You're still there.
Okay, all right. So Michael A. Levine, he lives in Los Angeles, and he wrote the score, the whole score for the circus that my husband was promoting and doing it in New York, called the Big Apple Circus. And I just bumped into him that one day, and I said, this is great music. I'd like to meet the person who did this. And he said, well, you're talking to him. And he gave me his name. He said, Michael Levine. I said, wow. I said, well, I'd like to collaborate with you a little. You're just wonderful. So we started writing songs together. And we wrote these 3 actually it's 4 now, original songs. And they started out as pop. But then we went and took those pop versions and made them into house music, which you can do. And they started to become very played quite a bit. And it's #2 on some of the disc jockey charts. We've had a lot of great comments. And now, because of it, I've been nominated for the Josie Award.
Hey,
Best new artist.
What a way to start, huh?
Yeah. It takes place in Nashville on the Grand Ole Opry stage. So that was one of my dreams, to perform on that beautiful stage. So it's all working.
So the song that we have is I Like Rain, and it's it seems like it might be a little bit more of a pop version than a dance version, or a little bit of both, I guess, maybe. But how about we do this? You introduce the song, and then we're going to play the video for everybody, and then we'll come back and talk to you. So you hang on. How's that?
Okay, that's great. The song is called I Like Rain.
Go, Juan. Take it away, you guys.
Want sunshine all the time. Always want the stars aligned. When I'm near you, I can be blue, but I'm the other colors too. It has no end, it has no start. It's just the logic of my heart. It's the secret you can never tell. We're falling, like little drops on a window pane. We're falling, but I like rain. I like rain. See you deep inside my soul. What I hold, I can't control. When you're lost in the midst of night, you're never out of my sight. It has no end, it has no start. It's just the logic of my heart. It's a secret you can never tell. We're falling, the logic of my heart. It's the secret you can never tell. We're falling like little drops on a window pane. We're falling, but I like rain. We're falling, keep calling. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I touch you, I love you, 'cause I like rain. I like rain. I like rain. I
Yay!
Hey, that's a good song. Listen, I got to ask you, you have kids?
No.
Oh, that's why you got that body. Because you didn't have babies to give you a pot belly. Because my next question was, did you have belly surgery? But since you didn't have kids, you got that tight body. You got a body like a 20-year-old. Let me tell you, honey. Your husband's very lucky. I bet you he don't cheat.
I had lots of discipline as a dancer, so I was a ballet dancer for many years.
Ballet
Yeah,
too.
she has
difficult.
I knew she had a dance.
So the song is great.
Wait, let me tell you something. That's a beautiful video. I hate to overload somebody with compliments. You don't know who I am. I'm known for telling the truth, as I guess you figured it out by now. If you were not so beautiful, I would have said, you're a very pretty woman, and that would have been it. But in watching that video, I kept saying to myself, there's no reason for women to let themselves fall apart, get old, and get disgusting. Because you're 78. You could be some big, fat, ugly slob if you ate everything and had gray hair or chopped up hair or you know what I mean? You could look like shit if you didn't take care of yourself. So tell me, how many hours a day do you put to looking so fabulous?
Well, I work out 3 times a week with a trainer, and I do Pilates once or twice a week. Once in a while, I do yoga. I ride horses, so I'm very active. But as far as putting myself together, it takes 5 minutes to put my makeup on and just.
Okay. What is it? Give me a diet. What do you eat? What'd you eat yesterday, all day and night?
Okay, vodka in the morning. No, just teasing. I feel like my mimosas. I have a protein shake in the morning,
Okay.
and then midday I'll have some tuna with a tomato or maybe a slice of bread. And then later in the day I'll have a huge salad with lots of things in it, lots of beans. And then sometimes I'll just skip dinner, or I'll have just maybe a Jell-O or something very light. I don't eat a lot, but I never have. So
you don't like chocolate?
You don't
and
eat like
cake
candy
and
and
ice
fast food
cream
and all that stuff.
all that poisonous
right,
shit.
guys, if I'm going to pig out, I want to have a piece of pizza loaded with cheese and sausage. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
me too.
Dog and French
all the
fries. Roast beef sandwich with lots of juice.
Yes. I
Well,
love
the
it.
way Jimmy eats, I indicated to me to go out and buy a lot of black clothing because Jimmy
Yeah,
eats
right.
all the poisons that is known to man.
Oh,
And sugar, he's a great consumer of sodas and
Way
stuff.
less than now.
And
than
you
I
know
used
what?
to.
I just say to everybody out there, because I'm a health freak also, I do not eat garbage. I do go off the wagon at times, chocolate. I'm a sucker for
He loves chocolate.
I can't help it. I binge sometimes on chocolate, but then I feel guilty, and the next day I make up for it. But eating incorrectly, folks, causes diabetes, heart failure, hardening of the arteries, also makes you old and ugly. If you eat crappy food, it shows in your face. Your
Man, do
skin
you
is-
eat any junk food at all?
Oh, wait, where we go? How about
Right.
skin? Tell me about.
Wait! I just asked a question.
What?
I want to know if she eats any
We're
junk
married.
food.
It's okay.
I want to know any junk food.
I have these little miniature Snicker bars.
Oh, I like those. Do you like go to fast food? Like, would you eat
No.
at like Wendy's
No.
or In-N-Out or
Never.
anything like that?
No, I don't like that. Like
Never. And look like that? No, she'd look like shit if she ate it. No.
So wait, I want to go back to the song for a second. So you guys, the song is called "I Like Rain." It's available on all your streaming platforms.
Yes.
It's on digital download sites. Anywhere you go, it's doing really well. It's a really fun song. I think it's.
I want to ask you a question because I'm sure it's going to be a very interesting answer. When your husband first saw you for the first time, how was that? He must have dropped dead, right?
That's really an interesting story.
Would love to hear it. I want to hear it.
Okay. Many, many years ago, my husband was promoting Frank Sinatra. And I was dating Frank Sinatra's manager, Jilly Rizzo. And this was, oh God, I don't know how many years ago, but it was at a club in Aurora or a stadium. I can't remember what it was. And we had, it was a big thing for all the acts and the promoters and the people involved would go out with their entourage at night for dinner. Especially Sinatra would like to have all these people around and sit and drink all night. And I was there because I was dating Jilly. So
Jilly's restaurant in New York?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Jilly. Oh, I knew him. I used to go to Jilly's in New York with Frank went way back in the 1950s.
Yeah.
Jilly was a big guy.
Yeah.
I remember.
That's the first time we met, but then I didn't see him again for probably 25 years.
Wait. You were a mafia mole.
Together.
You were a mafia mole.
Yeah.
because Jilly was connected. He was one of the boys.
Yeah.
So you were in Sinatra. Hey, you were around them. You were in good company.
Actually, do you know Laney Kazan? Because I know you've met a ton of famous people. Like he's friends with Laney Kazan.
She's been my friend for 30 years. I love Laney.
We know a lot of the same people. I know that you know a lot of people because I was Googling you just to get more info. I know she's going to finish.
I want to hear how
I was
Googling
you, and I saw like you've been on the red carpet at the Academy Awards and at the Grammy Awards.
I'd love to.
I saw a thing about being at the backstage with the Rolling Stones. I mean, you're like been everywhere.
Do you live in LA?
No, I used to live in LA when I was in soap operas. I live in Chicago now.
Oh, I would love to see you personally. I'd love to go to lunch with you. We have a lot.
I'll come and see you. I'll come there.
Absolutely.
When you come to LA, we're going to have lunch. We'll go to the Ivy and we'll wreck them with you.
Okay. Oh, yes.
I'll tell them, I'll stand up and say on the table and say, everybody, she's 78, eat your hearts out.
So wait, go back now. So you're 25 years later from seeing him the first time. What happened?
So we just, said hello. And he said, when you're being introduced to one of the boys' girlfriends, you don't look at the girl. You just say, yeah, nice lady, and keep on walking. So we didn't get to know each other. But then, years later, he was going through a divorce, and one of his dear friends, Senator Marovitz, said, I have a girl that you might like to meet. And he tells him who I am. He said, gee, that name sounds familiar, So we meet, we go on this date, and we still don't really kind of put it together. Then as we started dating, I said, I want to show you something, Arnie. So we went to New York, and I said, it was probably 2 a.m. I said, I'd like to go for a drink because he always says, I don't know a bar that I've never stopped or liked. So I like to stop and have a nightcap all the time. So it was not unusual for us to do that. And so I said, look at this wall. We walked into Jilly's. And on the back wall with all the celebrities, there was a picture of me, Arnie, Frank, and Jilly right in the center of them.
Of course.
It took place 40 years ago. He couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Jilly's was on 46th or 48th? Which one was it? 46th Street, I think.
I think it was 46th.
Yeah, 46th. I love Jilly's. It was a little dive, and he would be there, greeting you. Yeah. I'm from Brooklyn. So I grew up with, like Gotti was not a stranger, let's put it that way. And so I hung out with a lot of, wise guys in those days, and everybody that was a wise guy went to Julie's. And he was a really cool guy. He was a bouncer. And a cool guy. He was really cool.
He owned a club in Chicago also by the name of Jilly's.
Right.
And then when he passed away, in a horrible car situation, his son, Willie Rizzo, took over the bar, but it didn't last very long. He didn't really
good.
So
New York folded off after he passed. Well, Frank used to make it a big deal because he'd go with everybody. Sammy Davis Jr. He'd bring the whole backpack in there. So you can't get a better commercial than that. So now tell me, this question I must know, otherwise I don't like you. I will never talk to you again. Listen, when he looked at you, did he say to you, "Oh my God, you're beautiful"?
Jilly?
No, your husband. Your husband.
Oh, he's a kind of a shy type.
You mean he? What? I know. I just got in trouble for asking an Asian woman if she's Japanese or Chinese. She called me a racist. So now I got to be careful what I say. What ethnic background is your husband?
He's Jewish.
Okay. I'm part Jewish. So Jewish people are very, very forward and very sfacciati, as we say in Italian. So I'm sure that he must have looked at you and said, "Can't wait to get this one in the sack. She's a hottie." And then, of course, I know the type.
Yeah, use all his charm.
No, your husband's like a wise guy, a tough guy. I've dealt with a lot of them. And you must have turned around as a smart cookie that you are. And you said, no, baby, this beauty has a price. It's called marriage. And you got the sucker to the altar. I love you. I love you. I love you.
You're terrible.
Wait, how many years you married?
Not many, only 5.
Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, I thought it was like a 30-year
How long
marriage.
have you been
We see each other for this long span, and then we dated maybe 7-8 years.
Yeah, because Joe died years ago.
Yeah, he did. He
So
did. I went there. He was having a birthday party, and I went there for his birthday in Palm Springs. And he went to the store. He was out of bread. So he said, "I'll hop in the car and go to the store and buy a loaf of bread." So we hopped in the car, and people were, partying and sitting around waiting for him to come back. And when he came back, it was right almost in front of his house. There was a drunken driver that ran into him.
Oh, wow.
And the car exploded, and he couldn't get in the car. So it was a horrible sight. He was burning. No one could help him.
Who was burning?
Jilly? That's how he
Jilly.
died.
That's how he died?
That's terrible. What a
No.
sad story.
I don't remember.
Yeah. We go, instead of going to a birthday party,
They
we went.
didn't put a bomb in? They didn't put a bomb in the car?
No. The other person was hurt very seriously also. He's just drunk.
Oh,
That's
my
so
God.
sad.
That is sad.
Yes.
Because I did like him. He was a very friendly guy, a very big, like, ho, boisterous kind of a greeting guy. He was an instant-like person.
He was like my favorite dancer because he loved to dance.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so much.
I'm sad to hear this, how he passed away. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's.
So now your husband and you are married. And I want to know, does he tell you every day how beautiful you are?
Oh, yes, he does.
Okay, now I'm happy. Now you made my day. Because if he didn't, I was going to say, lose him. I got a couple of guys that would kill for you.
I tell him every day too. So
You have to. Otherwise, I melt.
all right, let's go back to music a little bit. So you've got these.
I bet you didn't think you were going to get this on the show, right?
No, you guys were something.
I wonder.
Why do you think we're the #1 podcast in the world?
Yeah, this will get
with
like
5
6
million.
million.
I can see that.
Wait, 5
So
million.
fun.
5 million people are going to watch this. We go all over the world.
Wow.
So listen, let me
How's
do
my
the
hair look?
wait.
Yes.
Let me do the book again, because ladies out there, listen. I believe in so many marriages are in jeopardy because the man marries a beauty like her, and then she turns into some kind of a monster. And he's no longer interested in her sexually, so he finds a young tomato and he goes with the tomato. It's your fault. what he married is what you should be forever.
Yeah.
I'm 30 years Jimmy's senior, and I won't get old because I owe it to Jimmy to stay young, because he met me as a younger man, and now I can't grow old. I'm not allowed, and I won't. So I'm giving you this advice. Buy this lady's book. You may get one thing, two things, three things out of it that could save your marriage. Don't just be married and say, oh, him, because you know what? Oh, him going to find, oh, her, and you're screwed out of a husband.
Yeah, wives should always be girlfriends.
Always be lovers.
So you guys, the name of the book is Eye on Beauty.
I get up in the morning, sometimes I won't let him look at me if I'm all messed up. I got to fix myself nice because I'm afraid he sees me as a 100-year-old man, a scary person.
He's gorgeous.
You have to be like you. You will be. Listen, I have a very dear friend of mine, Perry Winkler. She was married to Lee Winkler, the global enterprise guy in Beverly Hills, big shot. Gorgeous woman all her life. She's 103. August.
Wow.
You got to see what a piece of ass she is at 103. She got dark hair. She young and beautiful. 103. Just came back from New York. Who goes?
I'd like to meet her. I would love to.
I would love for you to meet her because you
have to set that up. I want to meet her.
She knew everybody in Hollywood. That's how come I met so many stars through her and her husband.
Oh.
Her husband was the business manager to every important person in Beverly Hills and in show business. So Perry had in her home, Burt Reynolds was her best friend. That's how I got to Burt Reynolds.
I loved him.
So, all kinds of people. 103. I said to her, Perilla, darling, you're not wearing high heels? Because we call each other Ronala and Perilla. She said, Ronala, darling, I have a little neuropathy in the bottom of my soul. At 103, all she's got is a little bit of neuropathy in the bottom of her soul, which hurts in her heels.
We were in New York City about 8 years ago walking, and we walked about 30 blocks with her when she was 95.
And
high heels and fishnet stockings on.
She had high heels. High heels.
That's amazing.
Well, she's had 4 husbands, one wealthier than the other, because she's worth it. She used to say, Ronald, I'm my husband's other Cadillac. And you have to be your husband's other Cadillac to keep your husband. Same thing goes for men. Men, don't get fat and disgusting with your balls hanging down to your knees and your belly. Stay looking young, because women don't want to go to bed with some big fat.
That's why I want to put my glasses.
Women don't want to go to bed with some fat slob either,
So hold on, you guys. The name of the book is Eye on Beauty, Living Beautifully and Luxuriously Beyond 50. And really, you can go one place and see everything Irene Michaels by going to ionthescene.com. It's ionthescene.com. And that way you can see, everything that she's got going on. Her website's super easy to navigate. It's got little tabs for everything. You can find out about the book. You can find out about her
I would buy the book
skincare brand.
If I were you out there, listen to Ron Russell, buy that book. You might get something out of it. Sometimes nature, God, or whatever you want, sends people to our show. And sometimes those things go out to you and you need them. And they make a difference.
So follow her on Instagram. It's at Irene Michaels, and that's her Eye on the Scene Instagram. And then she has Irene Michaels Music, which is all about her music career. We would love to see you in a cabaret show, too, anytime you do one.
Yeah, how do you like living in Chicago? And why Chicago, not New York?
I love Chicago. And I love New York, too. It just happens I was born and raised there, but I've lived in other places, many other places.
You're from Chicago originally?
Originally, I'm from Chicago, yes.
Oh, so that's why you love Chicago.
So let's ask a hypothetical, because we've only got a couple minutes left.
Oh, I love
as a music artist, and let's do both that. As a cabaret music artist, and then as a dance pop artist, if you were going to go play with, if you could play with anybody, living or dead, and you could open for them or do a duet or somehow work with them, who would you pick as a cabaret artist that you would love to perform with, and who would you pick as a pop dance house artist?
And can you
answer? Wow, that's a tough question.
Yeah, hang on 1 second. Juan, can you bring her in and out again real quick, because she froze? Let's see. There we go. It should work. Oh, We can hear you now. We don't see you. What happened to the picture?
I hate this
Don't say that.
podcast stuff.
Hit your. Does she need to hit her camera? Let's see. There we go. Yay! How come her camera
I
didn't come?
see something right here. See if that helps you.
For some reason now we hear you, but the camera's missed. There we go! Yay!
Okay.
Shazam!
You look just a still.
Well, I would have loved to perform with Frank Sinatra.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and even Kenny Rogers.
I love Kenny Rogers.
Did you know Lainey Kazan dated Frank for 3 months?
Yes, I did know that.
Yeah. She doesn't like it to be known. I don't know why. She said to me, "Stop saying that to people." But I would be proud if I dated Frank Sinatra for 3 months. But I understand he was a rough hombre. I mean, he was like a total wise guy. He was the ruler of the table. He paid the bills, and he had his entourage. And women were treated less than human by Frank. Only Ava Gardner, who was smarter than him, and she had him so pussy whipped that he would do anything she said.
Wait, go back to the rest of the question, the second part of the
We're
question.
allowed to be vulgar on this show, by the way. I love
Well,
this.
I think, as I said, those three people, and Tony Bennett, of course, I would love.
Tony was from Astoria, where we lived for years.
Yeah.
I worked for his brother, John Bennett, in his beauty parlor in Astoria. John Bennett, Tony Bennett, sure.
Yeah.
You know what? I
Pop.
knew Tony Bennett's wife very well.
Oh, okay. I never met her.
Her name was, I forgot, Sandy Bennett.
Sandy Bennett.
Sandy and I were talking at a party at a thing in Beverly Hills, and she was ranking on him, saying typical hood from Astoria, low class. I said, "Did you know that I was from Astoria and I'm Italian?"
I have a good friend that lives in.
You're all alike. You're all alike.
Go ahead. You had a good friend.
My friend owns a Kaufman Astoria Studios.
Sure.
Oh, wow.
George Kaufman and Sherry Kaufman. I don't know if you know them or not, but they've had that studio for a long, long time. A lot of films are made there.
My mother was a silent movie actress, and she worked at Astoria. Also, when Valentino was doing the Son of the Monsieur Beaucaire was the movie that Valentino was shooting with Vilma Banky in the Astoria studio. And my mother, 10 years old, was madly in love with Valentino. And she went on the set and caused, I don't know what, because they were filming, and she went out and did something, and they threw her out of the studio. So she was a big mouth, and 10 years old, started yelling and screaming. And Valentino went over to her, and he spoke Italian to her.
Do you like dogs?
And he said, calmate, calm down. I'll talk to you. Let me do what I have to do now, and then I'll talk to you. So Valentino was a very nice man. Rudy Valentino.
Yeah. Actually, the name of my dog is Rudy.
Oh, yay.
What kind of dog?
Pardon?
What kind of dog do you have?
Well, I have a toy poodle, but he's not really a toy poodle. He thinks he's a bulldog, but he's like a golden doodle, a miniature golden doodle.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, he's very, very beautiful.
This is Astro.
Cats and a couple of horses.
Astro, stop. This is Astro. He's a 7-pound mix. He's a poodle terrier mix. And he thinks he's a person. He thinks he's human.
We love it. Poodles are my favorite. Like, poodles are my favorite type of dog. So, all right, let's give everybody all the little
Well, I
rundown
want to ask you one more
time.
question.
Right.
How do you deal with the winter in Chicago? The winds and I was there.
I like the cold, so I'm okay with it.
Oh, you do? I worked there once in a club way back in the 80s. And they booked us in February. And I said to the crew I was working with, "Have you ever been to Chicago in February?" They said, "No." Okay, girls, wait. Freezing, not to be, the wind. I couldn't believe the wind and the freezing cold.
Yeah, it's a bad month.
Antarctica.
The bad month. She said, yeah, it's a bad month.
But you know what? People came out to see our show. And I was amazed because I said, nobody's coming to see our show.
They're just used to it.
They did.
Yes,
they came out in that weather.
So let me go over all the little things. So you guys follow Irene Michaels on Instagram, Irene Michaels Music, or Irene Michaels at Irene Michaels Music at Irene Michaels. Her website is ionthescene.com. She's got all kinds of great stuff about everything, fashion and Hollywood and all kinds of stuff.
Very interesting lady. Very interesting.
She's got her book, Ion Beauty, Living Beautifully and Luxuriously Beyond 50. She also has the anti-aging skincare brand collection, Ion Youth. And she's got her brand new single, dance single, I Like Rain. You can download it, and you can also listen to her Elvis Presley cover, which is called, what's that one called?
Well, the Elvis Presley house music version, Devil in Disguise.
Devil in Disguise house music version, and I didn't write that one down.
And I'd like to make this one comment. The reason that she is also so young looking is she's busy. She doesn't sit home worrying about growing old. She's too busy having a life. She's too busy doing a multiple amount of things. I suggest to all of you out there, when you're in your 70s and 80s, don't be a couch vegetable. I'm not. I'm always, as you see, I'm always at a red carpet, a party here. I go like crazy at my age, 83. To sit home and be depressed, it's ridiculous. Listen to Irene. Read her book.
Thank you.
So
I mean that from the bottom of my heart, Irene.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
You're like my new best friend. I wish you lived in L.A. No, I like women like you that are beautiful and interesting. I only have beautiful, interesting lady friends.
Well, next time I get to LA, I definitely will look you up.
You let us know. We'll drive in to meet you.
Definitely. And I can't be around negative people who have given up. I have a lot of people, still friends of mine in New York, that are my age, and they don't look good, and they gave up. And I fight with them all the time. I like my one friend, she said, I have bad knees, I have bad shoulders, I have bad this. I said, no, you have bad diet and a bad brain. You're 6 years younger than I am. What the hell is wrong with you? Get glamorous. I said, you see the woman that just moved upstairs? Piece of ass. Your husband's handsome. Watch him.
So, Irene, thank you so much for coming on the show. Oh, I forgot. I was supposed to tell Eileen, sent me a text message making sure I said hello. So, hello from Eileen Shapiro.
Hi, Eileen. Hello.
That's another prize. I love that broad.
Absolutely. And we want to give a shout out to Suzanne, too.
Eileen is the best in the business, by the way. She's so connected, that broad. She's on the phone 24 hours a day. I think the phone grew out of her ear, as they say.
All right, we got to go. Irene,
thank you for a lovely.
Okay, goodbye. Bye.
All right, everybody. That was Irene Michaels. She's very, very cool. We're going to do a quick music break.
You see how interesting a woman can be at 78 years old? Look at the multiple things. She rides a horse. She sings. She wrote a book. You guys out there.
Acts.
You ladies out there, you can find things to do. You don't have to just sit home and be bored. And don't just clean. Cleaning is not your reason to live, Oh,
actually, we're not going to play music because, we can bring on our next guest is there, and I didn't see it. Let's bring him on.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah. Hey, everyone. He can't be on yet. He didn't earn that. Wait a minute.
Hey,
sorry.
Now we want. Huh? Yeah, you can swear. You can swear. All right. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, actor, producer, director, and a friend of mine, Steve Bacic. Hello, and welcome back to the show. Yay!
Hello. Jimmy and Ron.
Hey, how are you?
What's going on?
Well, we hope we're going to have a good show with you. Let's get it out of here.
Yeah,
I'm wearing these things.
No, we can hear you.
Is it better?
I think we can hear it either way. I think we can hear either way.
Test this. Let's see what happens. How's that?
Hey, yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. We're gonna turn up the volume here. There you go. Can you hear me
there you go. All right. So we got a chat room with people in it. Say hi to the people in the chat room.
Yo.
So what's the weather like now? What's the weather like in Canada? Is it hot or cold?
Canada. Oh.
It's freaking hot.
Oh, it's hot.
It's hot now, Canada?
Yes,
there's
it's
no
hot.
Pictures in here, guys. I was just cleaning out my
it's 100 degrees.
We're on a show. I gotta focus on this.
We have it's like 100 degrees in Palm Springs. So we're in Palm Springs. It's like 100 degrees.
By the way, where's my invite?
Oh, you can come
Palm
anytime.
Springs.
You can come anytime.
I didn't know what to say. Hello.
Actually,
Yeah, but
we don't have a guest room, believe it or not. We have dogs
But-
that eat people,
but
so we don't have a guest room.
I would warn you
Oh,
about.
Hot. You got to come in the winter.
No, I'd warn you about coming to Palm Springs.
Yeah, because the
And whatever
fags will
you
love
do,
you.
and whatever you do, do not ever come to Palm Springs wearing a Speedo. You know where the
I thought
gay,
that was you.
where the
I thought that was you.
where the
He
center-
does do it.
we're the center of the gay world. You know, we have more gay people in Palm Springs than anywhere in the world. And you're very handsome and very sexy. And I know a lot of my friends, if they saw you in the Speedo, they'd get excited. So we don't want to do that. We do not want to do that, do we?
I love it. So let me brag a little bit real quick so people kind of know who you are a little bit. So you guys, this is Steve Bacic. We actually met in Florida, in Orlando, a fucking long time ago now. And here's some of the things that he's been involved with that everybody knows.
Look, Jimmy, that's one of the things.
Oh, Andromeda, that's right, which is like a huge thing. 45 episodes I wrote down here, and 45 episodes of Andromeda. He's also in Stargate. He was in X-Men, X2 X-Men United. He plays Dr. Hank McCoy, which how come you didn't get to play that in the other ones?
Different director.
Yeah, that sucked, dude, because you would have been better, I think. He was in Wonder with Jacob Tremblay and Owen Wilson and Julia Roberts. Let's see. I like the things. He's got 2 movies that we're going to talk about that are coming on. He was on Stargate, Good Luck Chuck, The Tooth Fairy, The Sixth Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger and everybody, Another Stakeout with Richard Dreyfuss. He's in a million TV series, fucking every series on the planet. He's in all of them. He's also
I'm fucking as much as I can.
Yes, absolutely.
So wait a minute. So you've made enough money. You've made enough money now to afford bananas and bread, right?
No, just I got banana peels.
Because the price of bananas and bread is the joke, but that way you blew it. So when I see you, I'm gonna have to punch you in the face.
You blew a joke. Actually, I bet you don't eat anything junky at all, do you?
Mm-hmm. I actually do. I eat a lot of junk food. In fact, I'll see my kids off at the airport. They're going to the Cayman Islands to visit some family, and my oldest daughter's boyfriend came with us. He's 6'4" and muscular. And there's a scale there. And then one of the ladies recognized me from some of the Hallmark movies I do. And so we're just joking around, seeing if they can guess our age. And of course, I'm 6'1".
You look great for 60.
He looks bigger. He looks bigger than me.
I said it was 61.
He's 6'4". He was only 213. I was 226. But we got a sympathy upgrade for the girls. So there we go.
Actually,
I got the girls on first class. So thank you, Alaska.
there you go. He thought when you said 6'1" that he meant you were 61. So he's 6 feet tall, 6 feet 1 inch tall,
Right.
and he's 58, I think.
Well,
You're not allowed to talk about age.
Oh, okay. We're not allowed to talk about
but
it.
you know what?
He's going to be 83 next week.
This
You're
this
gorgeous.
this has become an issue now in my Facebook and all my media because everyone knows I'm turning 83.
Yeah.
So they're wishing me like long life and stuff like that. When I was 21, nobody wished me a long life.
Yeah. That's
They
probably
just said happy birthday. Then I get, wow, you look good for 83. Well, what's 83 supposed to look like?
right.
I mean,
Why don't you just get good?
yeah, people.
Yes, you look good. Just you look good and not for
Yeah.
483.
Not even you look good. Don't even say you look good. That's another Academy Award. You look good for getting to be 83. So age is a very, very important thing in our society today. Madonna is having a nervous breakdown because she had all that work done to her face and she's old and nobody wants her anymore. Could you imagine Madonna? It's like she's going to soon be booking like Kansas City, you know, somewhere like.
Have you seen pictures? Unfortunately, Madonna got too much bad facial work done.
So
that always-
age is becoming
That
a
always
great.
terrifies me when I've worked with a couple actors that have gone a little too far, and it's terrifying. Not like to say terrifying aesthetically, but I don't like the fact that people have to put themselves through that in order to get, work or to feel good about themselves. It's, that's what I'm saying. 83, it doesn't matter what age. It's like you gotta feel good in here, and the
You
rest
leave it alone. You
Right.
leave it alone.
Yeah.
I mean, CeCe Pennington, we just went with her over the weekend. She was playing here. You know who she is, finally, CeCe Pennington. Yeah. She was playing here for the White Party, the Palm Springs, White Party. And she's a woman in her 50s, but you don't know it. She doesn't talk about it. And when she was on that stage, she was as good as she was 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's how
I don't like referring to age in
I find ageism. I'm so against ageist people. Yeah. Leave age out of the picture.
Absolutely.
Leave it.
I agree.
It's not.
But you take good care of yourself so you can be like in all these action things. Because like a lot of your shit that you're in is actually like action stuff. Like you're like,
yeah, it used to be. I don't do so much in my own movies. I'm stunt coordinator. I'm doing my own stuff, but other than that, it's mostly been a lot of Hallmark or a lot of drama comedies recently. It's not really been where they need you to beat anybody.
We've seen you in a lot of stuff.
Actually, hey, let me
one thing. Now, do you work out? Lift weights?
Yeah, all the time.
So let me see your muscles. Seriously, we have we have a lot of women and gay people out there who love to see this. Ladies, plug in your vibrators. He may take his shirt off.
Yeah. So wait, he's an action guy.
Take your shirt off and flex it. We have a lot of frustrated housewives out there that are watching.
Look, I'll give you a look. How's that?
No, you could be their masturbation.
Listen to him. Hey, you guys, some of the stuff. So he's been on Arrow, which is was one of my favorites. Smallville.
Is that where John is on?
Yeah, John Barrowman's on.
John Barrowman's a friend of
Stargate, SG-1, Andromeda. I'm trying to pick out the things that are like Van Helsing, DC Legends of Tomorrow.
Wait. You were in Van Helsing?
The TV series.
Yeah. Okay.
Battlestar Galactica. You do have because Garage Sale Mysteries. Like I didn't even realize it because you're like you must be a recurring character because you've been on a bunch of them. I've only seen that.
There were 16. I did 15.
You have a good agent?
Well, actually, I just switched agents.
When you book yourself?
No, I just switched agents in January. My agent was pretty good. I'm with a new agent. They're a little bit more chill. The energy's a little bit different, and I like it. I don't like a lot of hype unless there's something solid. You have a lot of work under your belt.
A lot.
You have a lot of stuff.
He was even in, you guys, and this is my favorite show when I was like, I guess I must have been in college, but 21 Jump Street. I love 21 Jump Street. We've become really good friends with Richard Grieco, who was, then went on to have Booker. And,
I was peeing in a club, and Richard was peeing.
No, we were at a premiere,
and he was peeing next to me at the urinal. So I said, Richard,
next to you or on you?
We're both peeing.
No, not on him.
No, that's the way. So I said to Richard, Richard, I have a TV show. I'd love for you to come on. He never got. We're good friends now. He said, Ron, I'll never forget that I was peeing and you were booking me on your show. He said, I've never been booked that way in my life before. I said, where did you come on our show? Something you've never been on before either.
So do you miss being an action?
Sorry, 1 second. Your show's a little bit like Entertainment Tonight meets marriage counseling. I don't know.
He said our show's kind of like Entertainment Tonight meets marriage counseling.
You are the father. I don't know. Like I feel like you two are. You Ron. You hold up your hand. Jimmy goes. What the hell?
That it's the yin and the yang. Every great comic team, from Abbott and Costello to anybody, there was always the crazy one and the sane one. I'm the
sane one.
He's the sane one. Because I said, Jimmy,
yeah, believe it or not, out of us, out of the two of us, I'm the sane one.
I said to Jimmy, before I came on your show, it was a crappy radio show. And now look at it. So,
now it's a crappy video show.
with 5 million people watching, those teeth right now smile. So you're very handsome. You're very handsome. Now, I'm not allowed to ask ethnic backgrounds because I asked an Asian woman, are you Japanese or Chinese? And she called me a racist, which is ridiculous. I mean, I'm Italian. I'm proud. What's your ethnic background?
Well, I was born in Croatia.
Croatian.
but I believe in my lineage on my mother's side there might be some Mongolian.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at you. Good, handsome fella. You know you're handsome.
Yeah, he knows.
Oh, bullshit.
We go to the
Fuck
convention.
off.
You guys, I met him at a convention.
Listen,
he had like 100 girls in line waiting to fucking meet him.
Listen, I have a very good friend who's as ugly as sin, and he'll tell you how ugly he is. So why can handsome men tell you how handsome they are? It's not being conceited.
Listen, there's enough douchebags out there. I don't need to be one of them.
No, that doesn't mean being a douchebag. That's just saying I'm okay. Yeah,
you get a cute. People will always make an assumption about you based on your appearance.
Yes, that's true.
When people say I'm handsome and I look like Tony Curtis, I say thank you.
I met Tony Curtis.
I knew him.
I worked with Tony.
What did you work with Tony Curtis on?
I think it was called Hardball 2. He was playing a gangster. I was an under gangster. I wanted to be his boss. I wanted to kill him. Yada. It was fun.
That's cool.
Did you get to know him?
He's a very nice guy.
He was the best. I had more fun with Tony Curtis.
Oh, do you want to hear a Tony Curtis story where he told me?
Absolutely. I love the movie.
Yes, tell us.
So I asked him, I said, what's, and his girlfriend, by the way, so I think he was in his 80s or maybe late 70s when I met him. His girlfriend was like 6'2" from Texas and like
Las Vegas cars,
Marilyn Monroe, but bigger. Like she was. Yeah. Anyways,
Julia,
before the movie, getting to know each other. This is back when people used to drink before movies, not during movies, but before you get to know each other, get comfortable with each other. So I asked him, I said, what was the craziest thing that ever happened to you? He goes, well, I was, at a urinal, I was taking a piss, and this guy steps up next to me. And can I say offensive things, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. So the guy goes, listen, I'm not gay or anything, but can I suck your dick?
Who said that?
Tony. Tony said
Tony at a urinal.
He goes, can I suck your dick? He goes, I'm not gay or anything, but can I suck your dick? And Tony's like, excuse me. He goes, oh, because you fucked Marilyn Monroe. And I've always wanted to be inside her pussy. So
this guy was a nut. He was a fucking
Tony.
Listen, I knew Tony. I knew him well enough. I knew Tony really well. Yeah. And I asked him, I said, Tony, the truth, are you gay? He said, no, Ron, I'm not gay. I just like sex and I don't care with who. So he was bisexual, but by choice. He just wouldn't have anybody to urinal blow him. I know Tony would never do that. But here's my story. Tony and I.
You don't know.
Yeah, that's right. We don't know.
Tony and I are at the convention center, and Mamie Van Doren comes over to me. She said, Tony Curtis is here. I said, yes, come with me. I brought Mamie Van Doren over to Tony Curtis. He's in a wheelchair. She sits on his lap. He grabs her long hair, and he covers both their faces, and he's talking to her. And then I heard her say, oh, Tony, you're still a filthy, dirty pig. So he was my kind of friend, Yeah. He was very outspoken, as you know. He told the best stories. Like he always said, Marilyn Monroe was on her knees all the time. It's amazing how she found time to make a movie. Jane Russell, who was my buddy, I used to talk to her about Tony, and she'd say, oh, Tony, he's notorious. Now, at the convention center, I'm at Jane Russell's table, and shoulder to shoulder is Tony Curtis at his table. So I said to Jane, oh, Jane, look who's here, Tony. And she looked at me and she said, oh, Lord, help us.
Oh, no.
Because she was religious. But he had a reputation as being, like me, very outspoken. He said what he wanted, and he didn't care what the repercussions were. I love him. I was supposed to go to his house in Los Angeles.
You don't want to offend anybody, but you definitely got to be able to speak your whatever that is.
Yeah, well, he was in a position where he could say what he wanted. He didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
His career was over. He was in a wheelchair. He didn't look good anymore. He didn't even look like himself. So he didn't care what was he going to lose? He had to set the record straight. And that's what I liked about him. As I said, I was supposed to go to Vegas and interview his artwork, but he died in England. And I couldn't go, of course. But I miss him.
Yeah, he was talking about his paintings. He started painting later on.
Huh?
Yeah. We worked together. He was painting. Yeah. Tony was painting.
Oh, he was a painter. Yeah, he painted big flowers and stuff.
Yeah.
So wait, let's
talk about stuff.
I want to talk about, because you got a movie on Tubi. We want to promote the movie on Tubi.
I got a couple of things, but I got my I got a guy here I want you guys to meet as well. But
Yes,
we're talking about the movie.
Okay, so first we're going to talk about Alter, you guys. So
He's got to give me more coffee though. Hang on. I got a budget so I can have I have an executive assistant, and I also he's also my copy boy.
Hey, what's up? How you doing? What's your name?
Camera, you're too handsome. Get out of here.
All right, so Alter is a movie you have on Tubi right now. That everybody's
going to give me coffee. Yes, please.
Free on Tubi. I'm going to read the synopsis. I wrote it down.
Yes,
so
sir.
Convinced that he's found the man who abducted and sadistically abused him as a child, Steve Bryant is determined to get him to confess to what he did by any means necessary.
Oh, I want to see.
So now you wrote this, right? Or did you not?
Co-wrote it, yeah.
You co-wrote it, you're starring in it, and you directed it.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
Were you molested as a child?
Paid for it.
Yes, and paid for it. Okay.
Were you molested as a child?
Personally?
Yeah.
No.
So how'd you come up with the storyline? Oh, there he is with your coffee.
Just with the creamer?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Most writers write the truth, about what happened to them.
No, but there's definitely so one of the reasons I did that particular genre was because it more centered around mental illness, possible demonic possession. So people are always, it's either some sort of religious influence or some sort of psychotic episode. Sometimes it's physical, sometimes it's made up. So the idea was, did this really happen, or is this a broken mind?
Right.
Because there's people, I can't remember when it was it was dominant. There was a movie made about it, Regression. So people were being hypnotized, and they were telling stories of abuse that actually didn't happen because they were put into a regressive state. And so that was sort of the idea of that one. Plus, that type of story is shootable. It's got enough twists and turns where you may not need a lot of action, you may not need a big budget. So if I had a bigger budget, I might still tell the same kind of stories, but everything I do is, can I actually pull this off?
Listen, I know some $15,000 movies that are better than $50,000 movies. Budget has a lot to do with it, but if the acting is good, the story's good, photography, lighting, and sound is good, you got a good movie. We're going to watch it tonight because I want to watch that.
So Dawn in the chat room, say hi to Dawn.
Hey, Dawn.
She just wrote up that she searched it yesterday and she couldn't find it on Tubi yesterday.
ALTER, yeah, it should be there.
She said, I searched it yesterday and it didn't work. I don't know what I didn't work means, but just in case, you have to check it out.
She has to download Tubi. Does she have Tubi?
Yeah, I have Tubi too, and I saw it the other day, but now I don't see it.
Contact them and ask them.
I don't know, just for you. But in the meantime, so you wrote it, you directed it, you starred in it, you paid for it. It's out on TV, and we want to show people the trailer so they can get excited about it.
Yeah, while you're showing it, I'm gonna see if it's, because I just talked to the distributor yesterday. So
I know you told me that. So you introduce it for us, and then we'll play the trailer.
We just found it, and
It's just coming May 17th.
I want to watch it tonight, so make sure we can see it.
Really, it just says coming May 17th. They might relaunch it, I guess.
No, that's today. Okay, they might have relaunched it. Okay, so we're gonna help with the relaunch. So give us an intro to it, and Juan's gonna play it for us. There you go.
Boom.
All right, coming May 17th. Okay.
Alter.
All right, introduce it.
Tubi.
There you go. Here's the trailer, you guys.
There is a thin veil between sanity and insanity. The mind is a fragile thing. Nature has given us ways to protect ourselves. Putting up walls, changing the meaning, losing all memory. But what if? What if the walls kept crashing down? What if you remember? Could you do what you needed to do to survive?
Hello, police. Is that your vehicle out front?
Can I ask why you're interested?
A car matching that make and model was involved in an abduction.
Hey.
Larry Decker. It's been a while, huh? Do I know you?
I'm sorry, I really gotta get home.
There's a $20 reward. My name and number's on this card. Have your mom call me.
I don't know what you think I did, but it wasn't me. It's your call. Please, no. No. God. There's no God here. Sit tight. I got an idea.
So it's a comedy.
Yeah, it's a comedy.
That looks like a very intense film, which brings me to pedophilia.
By the way, it does say May. I don't know why, but it says May 17th on our end. I don't know if that means to be Canada, but I just spoke with our coming May 17th. Is that U.S.? So can you look it up on your end? Because I'm actually curious.
Steve, you wrote about pedophilia, okay? I want Jimmy to say something that's really appalling about pedophilia. Yeah, listen to this. What do they call them now, Jim?
Oh, have you seen that? They call it MAPS, minor attracted persons.
What?
I'm on TikTok and they show teachers teaching that it's okay for people to be attracted to children, and we don't call them pedophiles anymore. We call them minor attracted persons. That's the woke crazy ass people. But it's all over TikTok. No, I'm not kidding you.
Isn't it appalling?
You know that I reported pedophilia posts on Facebook that were advertisements for it. I get stuff taken down from Facebook all the time. I put funny jokes and they take it down. And I reported it, and Facebook sent me a thing saying this post does not go against community standards.
What?
It was sick. It was fucking sick. And I get stupid jokes taken down and all the time. But
I'm feeling that we're starting to live in a communist society. I don't think I'm very upset about this bullshit about taking away freedom of speech and making bad good. So your film is really going to show. Listen. I don't want to talk about it, but your film, I can't. One day
Your film is going to open some eyes, possibly. I don't see it when I go on the app on the TV app. I don't see it.
When I was 4 years,
I'll look later when we get off.
When
the
I
show.
was 4 years old, we lived in the projects in Brooklyn, and I was 4 years old, and the janitor found me outside playing and took me down to the carriage room in the basement and tried to put his penis in my mouth. And I remember screaming, fighting, and running upstairs and telling my father. My father was a very connected man with the unions, if you get my drift. And they made a mistake. So my father was Columbia Street. My father ran across the street to the Italian club where Gotti's father hung out. You know, all these people. My father said what happened, and suddenly this man disappeared. So I've had to live with that all of my life. I asked my father once, did you have him killed? And my father said, no. I don't know if it's true or not, but pedophiles are the most vile human beings in the world. To get a child and to bring a child to a place that the child is terrified and not understanding what's happening. I love your film. I'm going to watch it tonight and possibly yell, hooray, when you punish this fuck.
I'm just going to text the distributor because on our end too, it's saying currently not available as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's weird because 1 second it was today because he did tell me there was it's still on there and it's going to be relaunched, but yeah. Anyways, that's fine.
So we'll do it. So we'll
It's
help. I'll help promote it.
It's a subject matter that everyone should see this film.
That is absolute. No, another friend of mine brought that to my attention about the plus, and that's an area for, I guess, maybe for maps where people that are into that sort of thing can be legitimized. And as a father myself, I would do, if your dad wasn't involved, I would be involved.
Absolutely.
If it ever hurts my children or a child and I see it,
no way. I'm with you, and so is he.
I will go to jail for that. I'll get canceled for that. Fuck that shit.
He's got 2 kids, so
Yeah, no, if anyone ever, God forbid, raped my daughters, they wouldn't be alive 24 hours. Trust me.
You know, enough's enough. People gotta go, like, where's the line? You know,
That's
where's
right.
the line? When a child is not a willing participant, if you want to do what you want to do with your body, do it. I don't give a fuck what you do or who you do it with, as long as they're willing. A child, if they're not, even if they give consent and
they're not able to give consent.
They're not giving, they're being groomed.
Right.
No.
Yeah, I'm not about it at all.
It's disgusting.
All right, so then let's just everybody else is on Tubi, and I'm gonna have Steve. I'm gonna have Steve send me the poster for it, and when we know it's available on Tubi.
Yeah. I'll let you know when the updates.
We'll when I get the updates, I'll put it all out on my social media so everybody knows.
Steve, I'm really glad you made this movie.
Thank you.
I really am. I'm happy. I think this movie, for those of you out there that watch it, you will learn something, that a pedophile is still a pedophile. Don't change the name. Don't try to sweet talk them and make them out to be nice people. They are people. They were abused as children. It's a fact that they say an abuser is an abuser. And I feel sorry for them. They're mentally ill. Anyone that gets a little girl of 3 or 4 and tries to penetrate her has got to be executed, has got to be put to the gas chamber or whatever, because there's no reason for them to be in society. And I don't give a shit what you think out there. If you think that, they didn't mean to do it. Yeah, let them do it to you.
No, there's nothing. There's hurting a child you can't excuse it.
There's no excuse.
You got to stop. You got to stop at some point. And we're definitely not doing a good job of taking care of that problem. And whoever I was at QAnon that was all about going after pedophiles. Well, there's so many of them out there. There's a UFC fighter. I don't know if you noticed, but I got a UFC poster over here. But there's a UFC heavyweight, Cain Velasquez, who went after a guy who molested. It was his daughter or his niece. She's 4 years old. The guy was in his mid-30s. He was living at a house at a daycare that his parents ran. Anyways, he was convicted of molesting her, raping her. So Cain was, they let him go on bond or bail or something, tracked him down on a freeway, pulled out his gun and shot at him. And Cain ended up in jail. Yeah. So where's the outcry from the group going, let's protect children?
Yeah, there's no outcry. There's
no outcry. And you see stories every day where, there'll be 40, 50 kids in Ohio. They're looking for one kid. They find 30, 40, 50 kids.
Yeah.
There's nothing
I'm on TikTok and I follow like a lot of politically things on TikTok. That's how I found out about the maps thing. And it's unbelievable, like, to me, the stuff that goes on with what they're okay with.
What upsets me the most now is that I hear on the news all of the young children who are coming in over the border that are being used as prostitutes, boy prostitutes, trafficking. Which, I think you and I are in a movie together, by the way. Am I allowed to say that?
No, because I don't have.
I'm not allowed to say that.
I have several things I'm trying to get in.
You and I will.
I'm trying to get you in several projects that I've got people working on.
And if you accept this one project, you and I will be in it.
By the way, the chat room.
Trafficking.
By the way, the chat room's Dawn in the chat room that you said hi to says that she thinks that you're the hottest guy that we've had on the show ever, and she's been like a fan for millions of years. And Lady Lake says way up there. So they're loving you. And I want to tell everybody, you guys, he's got another film on Tubi. It's called
an old one. Yes,
an old movie that he did a long time ago called The Haunting at Silver Falls is on Tubi. And I also see that one. And then he's got another film he's in the middle of finishing, right? Is that what you said?
So let's bring this guy in now.
Okay.
This is Sarush.
Hey, Sarush, what's up?
Hey, Ron. How you guys doing?
Hey.
How are you?
Hey.
Take the hood off.
Hey,
Take the
back
hat
up,
and the
back
hood
up.
off.
He's too close. He's too close.
Let him tell.
I want
Take,
to make sure.
no, look at
There you go.
take the hat
Do you have
off.
hair? Do you have hair or are you bald? Take your hat off.
I do
There
have
you
Hello.
go.
You know what? Show your beautiful
I'll
head.
tell
Wow, you have really nice teeth too.
I had no idea. I had no idea this was happening.
One day you may,
Oh, hang on. Let him tell you. Guys, hang on. Listen to this.
one day you may wish you had that hair. So enjoy it now that you have it.
Oh yeah. Well, listen to this. Listen to what he's going to say.
All right, tell us.
I had no idea this was happening, so I came here unprepared, not knowing this was going on. So the hat and all that, I apologize.
No, but that's good. We like that. We like
We're
that.
just still working a second trailer. We're trying to finish this movie. It's called The Shrink, A Flat, and a Broken Key. This one's about serial killers and hypocrisy.
Oh shit! You sent me something called. It says Warm Trailer. Is that the same thing?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. Wait. What's the name of the movie though?
A Shrink, A Flat, and a Broken Key.
Okay.
What is it?
I thought it was called Warm because it said Warm Trailer, so I thought the movie was and I was like trying to find it. So
No. It's just we're just we're in the process. We just finished color correction, and we have a TV version. We have a director's version. We've got the trailer I sent you guys is one version of it. You know, depending on how you look at it, I can make it a little bit more genre specific.
Yes.
As a thriller.
And who's this young guy?
Sorry,
Who's this young fella?
So he's the editor, or who?
Well, we on Alter, he was my editor.
Okay.
We did pretty much all the posts together, and then on this one, he also operated camera and edited and all the other stuff involved in post.
Okay, so let me tell Juan. So Juan, you're going to play the thing that I sent you that says Warm Trailer, but Steve's going to reintroduce it and say, "I'm Steve Bacic, and this is the trailer for the film I'm working on called," and then you play it.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Hey Juan, this is Steve Bacic. Please play the trailer for A Shrink, A Flat, and a Broken Key. And if you feel warm doing it, yay.
Sorry to bother you, but I had some car trouble down the road.
So you guys, tell us the premise. Tell us a little bit about the film, since I don't know that much about that one.
The trailer doesn't tell much. I'm not nuts about your trailer. It could have been a little more informative. It's just too many still shots.
Yeah, no, this specifically, it was my first dabble into a trailer, because trailers are difficult to do. You don't want to give away too much, but you want to give away something, or you want to entice people to want to go, oh, well, okay, that's not enough. I got to see more. So that's what I was trying to give you. I was trying to give you a little bit of a taste. That's all.
That's just a teaser too, right? That's not the official trailer because you're just working on it.
No, that's a version of it at this moment. But we were more working on completing the movie, and then I started dabbling with that. There's going to be a little bit more information.
A trailer should tell.
That's like a minute 20, and we're gonna fluff it out a little bit. So it's
a trailer. It's got to tell the audience whether they want to see it or not. That trailer, I don't know if I want to see it or not. You didn't give me a reason to watch it. make it have a reason, and it's a good. I mean, it's shot beautifully. I wanted to ask you, the same photographer that you use in that, did you use in the other? Because I like that photographer. He does good work. You have good photographer.
I pre-lit everything, and then we used nature, and then we did color correction. So that one isn't even. That was just done on that particular trailer was done on a very simple editing program that I use for auditions. And then Sarushi's going to work. We're working on proper color correction, proper sound. That was just something I did on my laptop, and I'm not an editor. I just
the trailer was shot well. I'm not saying
everything is shot beautifully.
I'm saying the trailer.
No, it's got to get flushed out a little bit more.
Need a reason why to watch.
So tell us this kind of like a 2 lines.
If you like your other film, that trailer, I want to watch it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, we're
want to watch that.
That was what Sarush thought we were working on today. Was I want to do about 2 or 3 different versions, but in another version, it's this one with it's got a bit more story dialogue. It leads you to that part. So I know that it's definitely not a complete.
Well, I'm not being critical. I'm being a buddy. I'm telling you this out of the business 64 years. I've seen a million trailers, and I know the trailers that hook and that don't. A trailer, if a trailer doesn't grab you,
got that. I want to know what's like a synopsis. Like I knew what the synopsis of Alter. Is there a synopsis already written for this one? Like what is?
Yeah, what's this movie about?
Yeah. I have one. Basically, my character has car trouble, and he is trying to change his tire. The key fob breaks. C battery's no good, so he's somewhere in the middle of nowhere. He's a criminal psychologist going to a penitentiary dealing with a suicide, and he backtracks, goes to a farmhouse to get a crowbar, see about it, get some help, and ends up in the wrong place. This is a place where there's a young fledgling serial killer, and he suspects that my character is a cop. He drugs him, puts him into this kill shed where he kills the girls. It gets a little more complicated because his mother is also involved. So it's the first time we've kind of seen that sort of aspects. It hints upon quite a bit of a potential abuse. There's a lot of twists and turns. I manage to escape and then get caught and then negotiate that I will teach him how to be the most prolific serial killer if he keeps me alive. I'm just trying to get back. So there's a lot of moral issues.
Good, cool. That's a cool story.
Like he's a product of a rape.
Okay, this is a movie worth seeing.
Yeah, so now we want to see it.
Yeah, now I want to see it.
So did you write that? We have 2 minutes. Did you write this one also?
Yes. Well, I wrote with a different writer than the first one, and then based on the actors that I got and the locations, I had to rewrite. I had to do a major rewrite for it to fit into that locale. So that's the thing. I'll adapt to what I have. And if I hadn't gotten that actor who you saw pushing the wheelbarrow, Jonah, I probably wouldn't have done it. Like it was key for him to be there because it's a bit of a risk. We've got small team, timing, location, very low, like not money's. Yeah.
Listen,
not to mention the amount of energy it's required.
Right.
We have seen a lot of your work, and I want to tell you, you're a fine actor.
Thank you.
I like how you handle yourself. You have screen presence. I would be very pleased to work with you in the film he's thinking of. I think I'd be happy to work with you. I could get out of you what I know you give. A lot of actors I've worked with, they give shit. It's all about them.
Yeah.
But I think working with you, there's a good...
So hang on, because we've only.
I think you're a generous actor.
I think we only have. Oh, he's definitely is. He's also.
And you're a good actor.
Anybody who's watching, who's a producer who needs people to help on set, like acting coaches and stuff. He also because he's a genius. He knows how to do it. And he's been in the business forever, and he's very, very good at basically like everything.
Yeah. We just did. I was wondering. I was going to try to talk about it, but I just started another wheel of a Hallmark series, another murder mystery, and they're actually going in a really cool direction. The last couple of projects I've been involved with them, you get to be a little bit more authentic with your emotions. It isn't all just sunshine and roses. They're getting a little bit more inclusive, a little bit more dramatic. And we just did a reboot of a different series. And, they said, we want something a little bit gritty, a little bit funny. And they allowed me to sort of play. And so within that, I said, well, here's what we got in the script. well, how can we make this between me and this character? Let's see this. Let's see the history, or is it new? Is it old? Let's make it funny. Let's change it. Let's change the dynamics. And so, yeah, to that extent, I'm creatively, I love the challenge of taking something and making it better, but it's not just about me. It's about
the whole. It's also a script doctor, you guys.
Yeah, but you need some. Listen,
we gotta go.
You need a chief.
Where you gotta go? Where are you going?
We're out of time.
And listen,
we're a minute over.
Wait,
we're gonna bring you back because you're fun. Like we have a good time with you.
What I said about your trailer was constructive criticism. I never meant to hurt your feelings. I just don't lie. I can't lie to my audience. I never did, and I want to see that film. I'm sure it's going to be a really good film.
So you guys check out as soon as the movie Alter is on Tubi for sure. We'll know, and I'll start promoting it on social media. Check out Warning at Silver Falls, and this movie will be coming out.
Yeah, Silver Falls, the first one.
Right. And it was nice to meet you.
Good seeing you, Steven.
All right, you guys.
Very good-looking men.
Thanks. He talks too much.
Well, I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you later, Steve. Thanks. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Steve.
Thanks, everybody. Come on, we gotta go. All right, yeah.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Hey,
All right, guys.
thanks,
We'll
Steve.
talk to you later, Jimmy.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Can try not to be so wrong.
Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes? Download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.